There you are. Thank you for accepting my invitation.
Do you ever get the urge to just kill somebody? I'm guessing that's a no. But if you ever do, there's a story series called The Purge that teaches you how to control that. And I'm going to tell you the first story right now.
It's stupid.
Just get it over with.
So we meet this guy James Sandin, who's making sure people's security systems are working fine, because at 7 o'clock tonight, you're totally allowed to murder people.
What?
That's right, all crime is legal on March 21st for 12 hours, because if everyone is allowed to blow off some steam for a while, there are no bar fights, crimes of passion, robberies for drug money, or just plain a-holes running around anymore. But this story says it's working, so we'll just pretend they're right.
We all got our own opinions. That's what makes this country great.
He gets home an hour before it starts, and his wife is cooking dinner like it's just a normal Tuesday. But they don't seem worried at all, because his security system from the company he works for is so good that no one will bother them.
Nobody's bothering us tonight.
She tells him that his daughter's upset, because he won't let her date this boy.
She's nice, but wow, she's annoying.
But when we meet her, she doesn't seem that upset.
I would prefer to be miserable in my room.
The boyfriend sneaks out, and we notice the neighbor has not only built a tiny stand for his grinder, but brought it out of his garage and past the bushes so they can watch him sharpen his machete.
An elegant weapon for a more civilized age.
Another neighbor comes over and gushes over the new addition to their house that they probably couldn't have added due to the size of the yards we've seen. The neighbors all say that their money from buying the security systems from him paid for it. But that's how jobs work. You don't get mad at the maid for buying a new phone with the money you paid her.
I forgot my phone.
The neighbor also brought cookies, but I don't know why you would eat them on the night where people can murder you.
I hope you're hungry. Those cookies are crazy good.
We then meet the creepy son, Charlie, who turned his sister's doll into a robot. They sit down for dinner and have forced family time.
Eating dinner. No
Yeah,
penis.
come on.
But then they notice that the purge is about to start and lock down the house as the food gets cold.
Shouldn't they have done that before they ate?
Well, he knows the security system is good, so he's not worried. But his family's worried, and he doesn't do anything to comfort them until they've locked down.
Yes, they could get in here. Is it impenetrable? No, nothing's impenetrable.
He explains to his son how bad things used to be, but now that more and more poor people die every year, America's great.
Let us do our duty as Americans.
Zoe excuses herself, and we find that Henry has snuck into the house again. The teenage boy stops his girlfriend from undressing.
What? Why?
Because he wants to tell her dad that he loves her, and that he should let them be together. Seriously, dude? This is the one night of the year her dad can legally kill you. Not the best time. It must be later in the night now, because Mary's already exercised, showered, dried her hair, and put on leaving the house clothes. On the one night you know she's not going anywhere. In fact, the whole family is still wearing the same crap from earlier that day. Although James managed to take off his jacket, and Zoe almost got comfortable, but Henry's not a real 18-year-old boy.
You know, he should have cut off his own penis.
Don't these people know about t-shirts? Oh wait, Charlie managed to find some sweatpants, and also a man running on the computer monitor through the camera of this weird robot. This guy apparently is in trouble, so he starts screaming in the middle of the street instead of, hiding.
He's invisible.
Charlie wants to open the door for him because he's begging for someone to let him in, but again, he's in the middle of the road. Who's he talking to? Does he know that all the cameras have audio too? Or does he just assume it's quiet enough outside that people can just hear him? So Charlie opens the door and lets the homeless guy in.
Something smells good.
And his dad pulls out his gun. And no one says anything. Well, except Henry,
Mr. Sandin.
who alerts James before he opens fire on him.
So much for talking to him.
Exactly. What was his plan? Hey, I killed your dad. Now we can be together. Don't be sad that I killed him. It was during the purge. It was totally legal. And don't worry about your mom and brother. They'll accept me in the family with open arms because, again, purge.
He didn't shoot me.
But Henry got shot, and Zoe pulls him upstairs.
I didn't know they were going to purge together. Are they friends?
The rest of the family stays out in the open, in a room with multiple entries, with a gunman upstairs and a homeless man who's now disappeared. They do wisen up and head to a room with only one door, but James goes to find Zoe to protect her from the homeless guy, not knowing if she was a part of the plan to kill him or not.
So you're gonna have to do something about the Henry situation.
There's nothing to do about it.
He finds Henry dead in her room, but she's not there.
She's just gonna have to sulk. She'll get over it.
She somehow got to the room he just left to tell her mom she didn't know about Henry's plan and needs to be alone for a while. And her mom's like, okay. And also doesn't warn her about the stranger in the house. But Charlie saw on the monitors that some people are coming up the driveway and surround the house. So James hears someone calling for him and then checks the monitors upstairs and sees some guy wearing a mask of his own face looking in the camera.
We've gotten gussied up and almost terrifying guises.
He tells them that they were going to kill the homeless guy, but he got away and they want him back.
Why wouldn't they just go after another homeless guy?
Shut up. The guy had the audacity to fight back and they took it personally. So they tracked him all the way from wherever his cardboard box was to this rich neighborhood to kill him. They're waiting on some buddies to show up with some tools to break into their house, but they won't hurt him if they just open the door.
So they saw him go in.
No, the neighbors just told him where to go, which means that they were just watching the cameras of an empty street during a party
Grace said she wasn't having a party this year.
when the guy ran up asking for help. So the people outside cut the power, and now he admits his security system isn't as strong as he let on.
We have tested the system. Looks good. It's strong. People stay away.
And comforts his family by telling them the different ways they could get in.
Okay, they could tunnel underneath us. They could smoke us out. They could devise a battering ram. Okay, I'm sorry, but it's true.
James's plan is to find the man and push him out the door, completely trusting that these people won't rush the door when it opens. Plus, he doesn't even try denying that he's even in there. James looks for him.
I just can't find him.
While the people outside do weird stuff to scare the people that they're trying to get to cooperate, and Charlie uses the robot to find him. He uses Morse code to tell him to follow the robot to a secret hiding place in his closet.
Why would he think he would understand that?
Well, he assumed he knew it because he's wearing dog tags. But why does Charlie know Morse code is the bigger question. Mary comes in and searches the room, but doesn't notice the doll's glowing eye in the dark. She then hears a noise on the roof and assumes it's him and leaves. The main weirdo calls James to the door.
Are we still at Ding Dong? We're supposed to be on total security lockdown. Come on.
And wonders why he hasn't sent the guy out yet. James says he can't find him, but doesn't try to get the power back on to speed up their search.
You are making this much more difficult than it needs to be.
The same face mask guy then kills one of his friends, now throwing out any chance that this guy will keep his word not to hurt his family. But James says he'll go along with the original plan, and apparently none of the other members of this group have an issue with their friend dying.
You okay, sweetheart?
Zoe finds the robot and tells Charlie that she's going to hide in a secret spot that evidently isn't so secret, and that she has Henry's gun, but the homeless guy took it away from her and is now on a standoff with James. Mary comes up behind the homeless guy and stupidly cocks the gun to alert him. He throws Zoe into a wall and runs at Charlie. So he tackles him and the gun goes off. James knocks him out and tells Mary to tie him up. They duct tape him and plan on pushing him out in a chair, but he comes to and resists. So he has Mary stab him in his bullet hole until he lets them tape him to the chair. Well, she can't tape his legs and let them kill this stranger, after she just stabbed him. But their plan wouldn't have worked anyway, because the chair didn't have wheels. And there's no way he could have dragged a full-grown man out onto the porch and got back inside before they attacked. The guy gets the tape off his mouth and tells him that he'll go willingly now that he's tied up.
I am not dying tonight.
But the other weirdos have shown up with the supplies, so now James gets a conscience and wants to defend his house, but still want to tie the military veteran to help them.
Release the beast, boys!
Completely not having any confidence in his security system anymore,
It works 99% of the time.
he gives his youngest child a gun and tells him to go to the basement. They arm themselves as the freak outside announces that they're coming in. They rip the metal off the windows and doors with chains and pickup trucks, so now we know why he doesn't trust his company.
Hey, honey, I'm home!
How would they attach chains to smooth metal?
Oh, with more chains?
Is it that hard to understand?
But they easily get in with the power of chains and just start shooting everything.
I don't condone that kind of behavior.
But one guy sees Mary and just lets her go.
You can't keep creeping up on me like that.
Another finds Charlie because he's too stupid to turn off his flashlight, but James kills him and no one goes towards the gunshots. In fact, I don't think they feel threatened at all.
It's exquisite. Save her for me.
That was so sweet.
Zoe hides under her bed like a toddler,
No, it looks silly.
even though she knows about the secret spot, but they don't look there anyway. James kills another guy in the kitchen.
We need to find our own thing. Let's growl.
And then fights two in the billiards room, but shoots one and beats the other to death with a pinball machine. Finally, someone follows the sound of gunshots, but ends up taking an axe to the back. And then James shoots the dead bodies in the head. At least someone's paid attention to horror movies. But it does also create some unnecessary noise, which draws out the same face mask guy, who stabs him.
Ow! Scuba Steve! Damn you!
They continue to wreck the house, but the neighbors show up and just start killing the masked people.
I come bearing gifts.
2 of them have Mary, but the neighbors just take them out, and then just go on murdering the weirdos.
Have a safe night.
Mary finds James bleeding to death, and the same face mask guy comes in, and Zoe lights him up.
I'm sorry, baby. Gotta get going.
Charlie comes in too, so they can all watch their dad die together.
Just remember all the good the Purge does, okay? It's all that matters.
The neighbors come in, and they thank them.
You're welcome.
But then they reveal that they're here to kill them too.
Why?
Because James sold them their security systems, and then rubbed his money in their faces.
But if they live in the same neighborhood, wouldn't they all be rich?
Yep, but they know the commissions from buying from him built the extra rooms on their house, and they can see that. So they got jealous. Now I can see them getting mad that he sold them a system that a bunch of college students could get in with chains.
Okay, yeah, it's the same one I use. I only sell the best.
But not for someone buying something with money they earned. You're telling me that the Sandins never bought something off one of them?
Who cares? I do. I care very much.
So they can't kill James anymore, so they're okay with killing his wife and kids. They then start chanting, but Timmy comes by to distract them, and the homeless guy sneaks up and takes a couple of them out. Good thing he knew about the speaker system that Charlie just installed. And instead of just killing everyone, they sit down at the dinner table and have a nice chat.
Did you enjoy Grace's Purge party?
It was very nice.
A neighbor goes for Mary's gun, so she breaks her nose with it and the table.
You're too sensitive.
The siren goes off, signaling the end of the purge, and everyone just goes home. And I'm sure everything will be just fine tomorrow.
Nothing is ever going to be okay again.
Won't be awkward at all.
Well, thank you for the cookies.
Our equipment is arriving soon. And we will get in.
Look, I'm gonna subscribe right now.
You should do that.
It's over.
Toodaloo.
Now get the hell out of my